last few days have actually been really nice and nice and sunny, and my allergies have just been killing me. So hopefully the weather mellows just a bit. Not every flower tries blooming all at once again. But yeah, I found that was something interesting in Ireland, was the going to a chemist, a pharmacy. Yeah, well, I gotta fly. There we go. Sorry, I had to roll down a window and it wasn't a fly, it was actually a little wasp. Hey now, come on people. That's a bummer, riding your bicycle on this road. But anyway, yeah, going for allergy medicine. Not only is it's a bit pricey, but if you're going in for anything good, anything that is near prescription strength, you get like 20 questions, and they're like, "Why do you want this?" I'm like, well, my eyes don't like being swollen shut. I don't like my eyes watering and my nose running. I need allergy medicine. Why do you feel this is the medicine you want? It's strong, but it has ephedrine in it. Like, okay, whatever, I just need the medicine. Oh man, they don't go, this guy, he has allergies, he probably knows what medicine he wants. They go, is he cooking this? It's like, I'm gonna take the tablets. What else do you want? But, yeah, the pharmacy techs, or whatever they're called here, chemists, there you go, they ask a lot of questions. And even if it's something small, they'll say, what are you doing? Why do you want this? I went in once to a chemist. On my way to work, I rolled my foot, my ankle, and sprained the hell out of it, right? So I walk in, I'm like limping. I've got my shoe in one hand because it quit fitting about 20 minutes earlier. And I have this gigantic left foot. And I'm like, hi, can I get what's good for a sore joint and has something that reduces swelling? I said, anything in that range. Well, we have Disprin. Now, for those of you that don't know what Disprin is, it's kind of like, it's just slightly above children's Tylenol. And I was like, yeah, I've taken that when I had just a little bit of a sore throat. I don't think that'll do it for me. Can I get something a little stronger? Why? Like, because my ankle's the size of a basketball. Well, not quite, but literally the size of a softball. I actually thought I had broken it. And the lady goes, have you taken these before? And I go, well, something similar probably, but I've never had these. I was wanting something that's a bit stronger. Come out. Go ahead. Yeah, you just flash your lights at them. But I said, yeah, just give me anything that'll reduce swelling and reduce the pain. Preferably, something in a single tablet if I don't take several. And she goes, oh, we have these. And it was something, paracetamol with codeine, I think is what it's called. Something like that. And I was like, oh, great. I was like, that'll work. Are you allergic to opiates? I was like, no. How many do you want? And I said, well, I don't know, a week's worth? No, it's pretty sore. You're planning on taking this for a week? It's only meant to be taken for 4 days. No. I was like, okay, I'll take it for 4 days. So then I'll just take it again if I have to come by again. Is that what I do? And she goes, no, you're not supposed to take it for longer than 4 days. I was like, oh, okay, well, I understand. I won't take this longer than 4 days. And she goes and rings me up for this box after looking at my ID. And I was like, how many are in this? And she goes, 8. I was like, 8? And it's €12? She was like, yeah. I was like, well, can I get the bigger one? No, you're not supposed to take it over 4 days. I was like, well, what if I take, I need 3 in one day, but I run out by day 3. Then you have a problem and need to go to a GP. And I was just like, oh my god. So, I then, while she's asking me, so why do you need this again? I go, do you have any ankle wraps? And she goes, why? I'm like, again, this swollen root on the end of my leg, that's a foot. This stumpy looking thing was a foot before I stepped, I forget what I did, I stepped on some cobblestone or something, but it was just super sore, and I'm like, I just want something to wrap it, Then she's all trying to tell me how not to tourniquet my foot, it'll fall off, and I'm like, no, trust me, I think I can handle an ankle wrap. But so I just thought it was a very interesting experience. The going in to buy a little bit of medicine. Now there's some things that are prescription in America that you can get here without one, but then there's other things that you can get over the counter in America that would not happen without a prescription here. Like one really strange one was Zantac, or whatever the equivalent stomach acid reducer medicine is. Any sort of generic version of that was you have to go in, pay a guy €50 to go, I have heartburn. Oh, okay. How long have you had heartburn? More than 4 days. And then they go, yeah, you have heartburn for more than 4 days. You need something like Zantac. Okay, here's a prescription. Literally 3 minutes. And I think they take a blood pressure, make sure you're not gonna keel over. But after that, yeah, they go, you have heartburn. Yes, you need heartburn reduction. But there's other things here that are surprising that they don't when you buy. I went into, what was it? I had to clean off some permanent marker. I bought a used power tool, and I didn't want someone finding it thinking I had taken it, or just I need to be able to write my name on it too. And so I was going to use some isopropyl alcohol to clear it off. And so I had a little bit left that I had just brought with me. I think it was for my airbrush cleaning. And so I'm like, oh, that works really well. I'll go get some more. So I go to the shop, and no one has it. They're like, why do you want this? And I was like, it's to clean. They're like, you're not supposed to clean things with it. I'm like, well, I'm not cleaning, body parts or, puppies. It's just, electronics. Oh, okay. Well, you can go get it at a chemist. I'm like, oh, goody. So, I go to a chemist. Why do you want this? This is for surgery only. I'm like, no, it's isopropyl alcohol. You clean electronics with it because it leaves no residue. I can get you 3 milliliters, or what was it? It's 300 milliliters. I forget. It's like 200 milliliters, or like 4 ounces or 2 ounces. I was like, all right, how much is that? Oh no, you need a prescription. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, you need to have a doctor's note why you need this. I'm like, but I don't need it for the doctor. It's for my electronics. Oh, okay. Well, let me ask. And finally the guy comes up, okay, yeah, we can sell it to you. We just got to make sure you're not going to drink it. I'm like, it's rubbing alcohol. I understand it has alcohol in the name. I was like, and it is a spirit, but I wouldn't drink it. Well, people drink it. I'm like, stupid people? So, he then finally is like, okay, we'll sell it to you if we can have a copy of your ID, but it's $20 or €20 for the 2 ounces or 3 ounces. It's, like a quarter of a Coke can. And I'm like, sorry, dude, what the hell, And he's like, well, it's very, very regulated. I'm like, I see that. Okay, well, fine. While I'm here, and I'm not a criminal, and and you have my ID, I'll get some hydrogen peroxide because I've been wanting some. Why do you want that? I was like, well, if I go swimming, I put it in my ears, and it kills any bacteria. Don't do that. What? You could spill it in your eye. And I'm like, well, no, I put it in my ears, not my eyeball. Well, you could spill it in your eye, and it could cause complications, and enough of it could cause blindness. I'm like, well, I'm not going to put it in my eye. Okay, we'll sell it to you. And okay, cool. How much? And he has this little tiny bottle, and I'm thinking it's $1 in America for like a liter, So I'm thinking, okay, now this is going to be cheap. €25. And I'm like, well, no, the little bottle, it's like tiny. That's the little bottle, €25. So, thankfully, I was able to find it at an electronics store, not the hydrogen peroxide, but the rubbing alcohol. And again, the whole like, don't drink this, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'll just take this. How much for and it was like a 2-liter can, and it's kind of like the Irish version of Radio Shack. And he goes, oh, that one, that's €30 or €30. It was something like that, 25, €30. And I'm like, hold on. This little can. And I finally went with the little tiny can. It was thankfully not. I mean, it shows you the Chemist is expensive, but even the half liter, I think was it was like 13 or 18. So it didn't really save you any money. I didn't really, save you any money buying a can here. It's actually cheaper to have one shipped in, if you can find the company to ship it. That's a whole other conversation kind of thing. But it was in a spray can, and so which works great. It meters it, and you don't use a bunch at once, which is fine because it's so darn expensive. But it has an adulterant in it. So little did I know, I'm sitting here cleaning whatever it was. I think it was my iPhone. And so I'm cleaning up the little port in this like 6-year-old iPhone I got, so I could have some music in the garage. And I finally got it all cleaned out, but I went to eat something later. It was like, I don't know, it was like 5-10 minutes later. I'm eating a sandwich or something, and I got this horrible bitter taste. And it took me a few seconds, but then I realized that I had washed my hands since I had used the rubbing alcohol, and so I had this, the only residue it leaves is this adulterant, keep people from eating it. It's the embitterant or whatever they call that they put in the compressed air, but it was all over my hands. So as I made my sandwich, it tasted like I was licking the most bitter cucumber sandwich ever. It was like I had made a penny and nickel sandwich. Oh, it's annoying. So yeah, some little things I like. There's lots of Ireland. It's easy to buy stuff here most of the time. It might not be cheaper because it is an island, but and there are some interesting things you can get here that you can't get anywhere else. So that's cool. But sometimes it's these little tiny things that are just a pain in the a butt to track down. What's this guy doing? He really likes his brakes. Going to the other thing. So yeah, that was some little simple everyday items that turned into a fiasco while trying to buy and then use. Oh, what are you doing? Why is she coming into this lane? I need to go into that. Oh, more rain. Though I think outside of a few hobby things, most everything else is pretty available in Ireland. You're just gonna pay a bit more because there's like the tax is a bit higher, included in the price, but a little higher. And, so if you walk up somewhere and it says it's €5, you go to the counter to pay, it's literally just €5. Pretty handy to keep track of your shopping while you're shopping. You don't have to go to the counter and assume 12% for one type of food product, 13% for prepared food, and 0% tax on medicine or whatever. I forget, but it's very hard to estimate your shopping bill while shopping in America without some sort of app or. You can always guess and then add about 10-15%, but that's the bummer of shopping in America. I don't know. I get used to not paying tax on top of the product marked price. So while visiting some family recently, I go in and I grab, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 things, and I go up to the counter and it was like, in my head, I kept track of it. It was like $8.50, $9, something like that. And I'm sitting there like, and she's like, "Sir, that's 12." I'm like, "What? That's $12." It's like, "No, it wasn't." And she goes, "No, that's your total's like $12." I was like, "No, it's shit, tax." Then she looks at me like I'm a total idiot because I don't have a foreign accent. I just sound like your average American probably. Well, I don't know. Living in Ireland for 5 years may have added or changed a little bit, but probably not a whole lot. Oh, okay. Now, easy. What are you doing? Hey, my lane, your lane? I'll get over here then. Sorry, she didn't realize what lane she was in.